All right, so welcome back to another Genshin Impact tier list. This one is going to be a lot of fun. We are tier listing how every character would be if they went to the beach. It's beach day. So if a group of characters went to the beach, what would they be doing? Well, we're going to find out. So we have 6 different tiers. First one is always the first in the water. Very excited, just get into the water and just swim, surf all day. The next one is a character who would be forced to go into the ocean because they're scared, but they have to because they're being dragged into the ocean, but they really don't want to. The next one is they're only here for the sun. They're just going to relax on the sand and get tan. Next tier is making sandcastles with others. They just play in the sand, make sandcastles, bury each other, all that jazz. The next tier is walking, just basically walking on the beach, walking and talking, or collecting seashells on the way. They like to collect stuff. And there's definitely be a lot of characters in this category. And then the last one is just they did not want to come and they basically don't do anything. They sit in the shade underneath an umbrella, maybe read. Yeah, they did not want to go to the beach. So we have all the characters here. I tried to mix them up completely, so we didn't just have nation by nation. We're not going to be using alloy because, screw alloy. The travelers, they'd be doing every single one of these, so I'm probably not going to put them in any tier because they'd literally be every one of these tiers because they are the travelers and they can do everything. So without further ado, we have over 100 characters to get through, so let's get started. First one, Barbara. What would Barbara do if she went to the beach? I can see her, honestly, collecting seashells, walking. I can see her doing that. She is a hydro character, so I can see her going in. I think she'd like the water. I don't think she'd be scared of it, but I don't think she'd be the biggest fan of going in the water, so she might just go in for a little bit, but she's mainly walking and collecting seashells. That's the type of, person I'd see her being at the beach. Next up is Nahida. She'd definitely be making sand castles with others, helping others make builds in the sand. She'd have fun. I mean, after being locked away for hundreds of years, she's just going to want to have fun at the beach. So that's her. Oh, Yai Miko. What would Yai Miko do at the beach? See, she is either in one of two categories. She's either going to walk and collect seashells on the way, or she's here for the sun. Which one fits her better, though? Good question. You know what? No. She'll be walking and collecting seashells. That is 100% a Yaimiko thing, because then she can keep an eye out, just, look around, see what everyone's doing, keep an eye on Raiden to make sure she doesn't get into trouble. That is what Yaimiko would be doing. Beto, Captain Beto. Probably first in the water. She basically lives in the ocean. She's a pirate. She's on the ship all the time. So, well, she could also just... No, this is a beach. She's going to go in the water. It's Beto. What are we talking about here? Now, Lady Kutching. This is an interesting one. She is either she did not want to come and does nothing because she's too busy focused on work, or if she comes here with friends, from other girls from Leeway, she might be forced into the ocean. Because I don't think she'd like the ocean either. You know what? I'm going in this category. I think if she went with other Leeway characters, they'd force her to go in the ocean, but low key, she's terrified of the ocean. She doesn't like the waves and just the overall vibe the ocean gives. So I'm going to say she's going to be forced to go in the ocean because they're scared. And she's not going to have a good time. Next is Goro. Goro is an interesting character. Oh, well, he can also fit in this category. He is always doing things for Kokomi. Kokomi loves the water. Would Goro be scared of the ocean, though? Actually, wait a minute. Would Goro be... No. He lives on Watatsumi Island. No. He'll be making sandcastles with others. He's in the Inazuma Archon quest. He's one of the main people in the war. So he could probably make a nice sandcastle, and if they had like a battle, he'd probably do very well. So he'd definitely be making sandcastles with like Ito, and if Miss Hina shows up, that's a different story. But I think Goro would have some fun with friends. It's a nice relaxation time at the beach. Now Kamisato Ayato, again, I can see him going in two different categories. Either he didn't want to come because he's very busy with work, or since this is a rare opportunity, him not being at work, he's just here for the sun. He is just here to relax, sit in the sun, and try to get a tan. You know what? I think that is something he would do. He is very I don't know, I don't want to say mature, but he has that just laid back personality. And now here's Venti. Oh, Venti. What would you do? Well, first of all, Venti would get drunk. He'd be wasted on the beach. 100%. Knowing his personality and how he is around everyone. He's a very fun person. He's a bard. He'd definitely make sand castles, play in the sand. He'd definitely just have some fun with other people. That's what he would do. Jinyan? Oh man, I have no clue. Jinyan would definitely want to go to the beach, for sure. But what would she do there? Because she has a ton of leeway friends. Would she be making sandcastles, collecting seashells, laying in the sun, or going in the water? So I've been sitting here for about a minute thinking, and honestly, she kind of fits into every category, but the one I feel like she'd do most is she'd go on a walk with Hu Tao, just talking and coming up with song ideas and collecting seashells on the way, finding pretty ones. So I think I'm going to put her in that category and call it a day. Next up, Klee. You know how, oh my. Klee, first in the water. I mean, she's a kid. She is, her mind goes in 1,000 different directions. So the first thing she will do, of course, is just run straight into the ocean. And Jean and Albedo will have to go, run after her so she doesn't drown. So yeah, Klee is going to be the first in the water always. Just hyped, very excited, ready to go. Zhongli. I mean, this is such a Zhongli thing. Just walking, collecting seashells on the way. A nice stroll in the middle of the afternoon. That is 100% Zhongli. Now, Hu Tao. We were just talking about her and Jinyan, but Hu Tao is a very fun person. I think if you had to decide, would she be an ocean girl or a sandcastle girl? I'd probably go sandcastle girl. That's my opinion. Kale, she definitely, I say forced to go in the ocean. I think Sino and Tainari would be in the ocean and try to get her in there. I wouldn't say she's forced, but she forces herself to go in the ocean even though she is scared. So I do think that is what Kale would do. She'd get in the ocean because all of her other Sumeru friends are there, but she would be terrified at the same time. Kazuha, a wander, I don't want to say the word wanderer because wanderer is another character, but he is he comes and goes. He's a mystery. I actually don't really see him. Would Kazuha even want okay? This is the thing. I feel like he'd want to go to the beach, but he would do nothing. I don't really see him doing much at all. I don't want to say he wouldn't want to go, but I don't see him doing anything. Maybe I don't know if I should just make another category. Because I just don't see him doing anything. I don't see him making sandcastles unless Ito drags him into it. I see him walking, but I don't see him collecting seashells because he kind of wanders all over Teyvat. I don't see him sitting in the sun. He's not afraid of the ocean, and I don't see him as a person who's always goes into the ocean first. So he just kind of does nothing. Not saying he didn't want to go, but I think he'd rather be doing a lot of other things rather than going to the beach. Raiden. Raiden honestly fits this category. She doesn't actually, no. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's Yaimiko. She'd make Raiden go for walks on the beach, but Raiden would be obsessed with seashells. I think she would collect a lot of seashells and have a nice big collection. And Yaimiko was just like, "What are you gonna do with all of them? You, what is the purpose of having 20 seashells?" And Raiden's just like, "You don't understand, Miko. They hold significant value in my life, and I must keep them and put them in my room." And that is a conversation I could see those two having. So yeah, Raiden would walk and collect seashells on the beach. Kaya. Mr. Kaya. He is here for the sun. He, I would say, also kind of work out. I feel like he'd work out as well on the beach, but definitely for sun. He'd just chill and relax, just bathe in the sun. That's what Kaya would do. Chong Yun? I don't think there's any ghosts or spirits on the beach. I don't think he would have to perform an exorcism. I could put him in two different categories here. I could put him in forced. Would he be scared of the ocean? That is the question. Because if he would be scared of the ocean, I'll put him here. But if not, he's definitely making sandcastles with Xingqiu, Shangling, the Leeway kids. So which one is it? Because Xingqiu, his best friend, is definitely going to be in this category. But if Xingqiu went in the ocean, because he's definitely not afraid of the ocean. But is Chong Yun afraid of the ocean? That is the question I am wondering. Out of the entire friend group, I think he would be the one afraid, which is kind of ironic. So I'm going to put him here. I'm going to say because Hu Tao would love to go in the water. Xingqiu, Shangling, they'd all go into the ocean. Chong Yun, I think, would be hesitant. I don't think he is the biggest fan of the ocean and the waves, and he'd have to be forced to go in. And you know what? Look at this, Jean. Well, okay, so Jean would be forced to go into the ocean to save Klee. Let's be real. Is she afraid of the ocean, though, is another question. Because she'd be forced to go in to save, watch Klee and stuff like that. But otherwise, I think Jean would can honestly go into every category. She would not want to come because she's too busy with work. I can see her walking with Lisa and collecting seashells. Okay, not sandcastles. I can see her laying in the sun and then being forced to go into the ocean. But again, the question is, is Jean scared of waves? Is she scared of the ocean? I'm going to say no. I don't think she particularly loves the ocean, but I don't think she would be scared of it. If Lisa goes to the beach, she's going to be walking and collecting seashells. I'm kind of jumping the line, but let's be real here. But should I put Jean with her, or is that just too obvious? Because Jean would have a lot more responsibilities than Lisa. So you know what? I'm going to keep her here. I'm going to say Jean's going to be forced to go into the ocean because of Klee and because of, I guess, other Mondstadt characters. But I don't think she'd be too fond of the ocean. I don't think she likes it. Not necessarily scared, but she definitely does not like the ocean. Next, Aoife. Aoife with his buddy Kakuku. What would Aoife do, bro? Okay, Aoife's not scared of the water, obviously. Would he make sand? Aoife would so make sandcastles with others. Yeah. Yep. Aoife's a fun dude. I can see him and Auroron making great sandcastles. So yeah. Albedo. I feel like he's kind of in a similar situation as Kazuha. But I feel like he's also out. I don't think Albedo would be here just for the sun because I feel like he's also outside a good amount. So I'm going to say walking and collecting seashells. That's what I'm going to put Albedo as. But he is obviously going to go into the ocean because of Klee. But everything else, yeah. Risley, the man, the myth, the legend. He's definitely here for the sun. Come on, he lives underwater. Yep, Risley's gonna just gonna chill in the sun. Now, that's what he does, and the ladies will drool over him. Zhao, obviously, did not want to come and does nothing. Fremine, wait a minute. Yeah, Fremine. He lives in the ocean. He loves the water. That's easy. Mizuki. Ooh, Mizuki. What would the therapist does? The psychologist. What would Mizuki do? I could definitely see her walking and collecting seashells. Or is she here for the sun? She's inside all day. And she lives in Inazuma. I might put her here. Like I could see her walking and collecting seashells, but at the same time, if she went to the beach, I think for a day, she'd just lay in the sun. Yelan, same thing. That is that she'll take a nap in the sun. That is Yelan. And honestly, I'm skipping again. I am sorry, but these two characters are very similar. Shilonen, sleeping in the sun. Dude, they're here for the sun. She's going to take a nap and sleep. 100%. Eula from Mondstadt. All right, so I see two possibilities here for her. Eula would definitely go to the beach with Amber. Now, Amber would love to go in the water, but is Eula afraid of the ocean? I don't know, because if she isn't, then she's definitely here for the sun. She's going to lay in the sun, just relax, talk to, different Mondstadt characters. She's going to be a chill character at the beach. I don't think she'd be afraid of the ocean, honestly. I don't think so. I think she's just going to be here for the sun. D-Luke? Nope. He doesn't want to be here. He wants nothing to do with the beach, and he's just being dragged to the beach. Lanyan. Either sandcastles or walking and collecting seashells. You know what? I feel like she'd do that. She's also kind of with that friend group a little bit. I'm trying to think of who she was really good friends with in her in Lantern, right? When she first, I don't want to say debuted, but when she was first released. I don't know what friend group she's going to be a part of, but I definitely see her collecting a ton of seashells and bringing them back to Chenyu Vale. So that is my take on her. Sethos. What would Sethos do? I have no clue. Okay, you know what? I can see Sethos just being a lover of the desert. He does not want to leave the desert, so he kind of was dragged along. He didn't necessarily not want to go, but he's not going to really do anything at the beach. He's just going to sit there and wait to go home to get back to his temple. So, yeah. Ito! I wish I had two Itos because he'd be the first in the water and he'll be making sandcastles the entire day. It's both of these. I'll put him in sandcastles because that's what he'll do. He'll be the first in the water, and then like 15 minutes later, he will get out and then make sandcastles, play in the sand for the rest of the entire day, 3-4 hours. So, yeah, he's in this category, but he's also mainly in the sandcastles. And I just realized how long this video is going to take. Oh my god. Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi will definitely just collect seashells. I mean, it's Chi-Chi. She's just going to chillax. Flynn's. So we don't know anything about Flynn's. We just know he's a lightkeeper from Nod Cry. So I have no idea what this character is going to be like. I'm going to say he doesn't want to go. I don't know what his, personality is going to be like, but he might just not want to leave Nod Cry, being forced to go to the beach. He just wants to, manage the graveyard. So yeah. Wander. He's going to get picked on by Nahida because Nahida is going to be making sandcastles. She's going to try to get him to join. He doesn't want to come. He doesn't want to do anything. This is self-explanatory. Xingqiu, making sandcastles. Obviously, we talked about that earlier with Chong Yun. That little friend group. Fischl. Oh man, Fischl would do everything. She'd go in the water, make sandcastles, and collect seashells and go on a walk. Oh no, she'd make her castle from the summer event. Yeah, definitely. She'll definitely make her own sandcastle every time she goes to the beach. I can see that. Ganyu. Ganyu would use this as a little break from all of her work and probably fall asleep. So she's going to be here for the sun. She's going to lay in the sun and just relax and take a nap. Kachina. Oh, Kachina. You know what? I don't want to. This could be a lot of different answers if I'm being honest. She would definitely make sandcastles. She'll be dragged into the water by Mualani. Is Kachina a big water person? Would she always be the first in the water with Mualani? Or would she want to do something else? I'm trying to remember back to the Archon quest. No, it makes sense. She'd definitely want to go into the water. She'd be ecstatic. She'd be very hyper. Nilu. Oh, 100% walking and collecting seashells. She'd love that. Nilu would absolutely love that. Oh boy, Sea Lolly. Oh, Sea Lolly would be here for the sun. Are you serious? She'd not want to be bothered. She would just want to be alone. Navia, obviously making sandcastles. She's the best. She is the best. We love Navia. She'd be so fun at the beach. Diona? Nope. Don't see her wanting to go to the beach or doing anything. She would not be happy, I don't think. Not at all. Llama. Ooh. Llama. Honestly, probably just collect seashells and walk. I don't know. We don't know anything about Llama right now. We don't know what she's like, what her personality is, but she seems like a very elegant and pretty lady that would like to go for walks. Kuki Shinobu. Oh boy. Monitoring the Arataki gang. She'd be forced to go into the ocean, let's be real. I don't know if she'd be scared of the ocean, probably not, but she'd definitely be forced to go into the ocean because Arataki gang, probably one of them's drowning. Yeah. She definitely doesn't want to go into the ocean. She just wants to lay in the sun. Yeah, Kuki Shinobu would only be here for the sun, but she'd be forced to go into the ocean multiple times and get annoyed. So I'm putting her here. Auroron, obviously making sandcastles with Aoife. I mean, come on. The bros broing out, having a good time. Yeah. Kokomi, always the first in the water. She lives in the water. She is a mermaid. Point blank. Next, Baiju. Obviously walking and collecting seashells. That is such a Baiju thing, bro. I could see him literally commenting on every single seashell he picks up. Yeah, that's such a Baiju thing to do. Noelle? What would Noelle be like? She's a freaking maid, a knight. I don't think she'd want to be there. I actually don't think Noelle would want to go to the beach. I can't really see her doing much, so I'm just going to put her in this category and move on. Shenhe? Oh, Shenhe would be so lost. I kind of want to put her... So... Oh man, this is hard actually. I could see this... I don't know what she'd be like going to the beach, but I can see it going a lot of different directions. I think... Okay, listen, hear me out. She'd be the first to go into water because she's like, well, we're at the beach. And when you're at the beach, you go into the ocean, right? Like, she doesn't really understand humans. So she'd just think, we're going to the beach. We're going to the water first thing. And even though that's not what a lot of people do, that's what she would think. And so she is always the first in the water. Yep. Heizo. Oh, man. I can see him in a lot of different categories here. He'd be walking and collecting seashells. He's a detective. You never know what he might find. So that's where I'm going to put him. I'm trying to go a little bit faster because this video is going to take forever. Faruzan here is for the sun. She's a granny, as she says, just like Granny Eatsley. She just wants to relax, be left alone. Dia, obviously. We know how much of a, even though she doesn't look it, she's a girl's girl. She likes makeup. She likes, looking pretty. Even though she's an absolute badass, she loves cute little things like seashells. And she could be walking and talking to Dunyarzad. It's perfect. Shanyun. Same thing. She loves little trinkets, little seashells to decorate, and you never know, she might find something to use on a project. Yao Yao? Would Yao Yao like to go into the water, or would she be making sand castles? Oh, this is a tough one. I'm not sure. I think she'd go. Would she be the first one? Okay, so let's say she went with Chi Chi. Oh, you know what? We don't really know Yao Yao that much, honestly. We don't know her that well. Okay, wait. I don't. No. No, okay. She'd definitely be walking and collecting seashells so she can give them to Madame Ping. That's why. She'd walk with Chi Chi and they'll pick out cute seashells. That's perfect. And then we come to Miss Farina. She's making sandcastles. Let's be real. She's not going to go into the water. Nope, I don't even think she'll be forced to go into the water. She's just going to stay on the beach, make sandcastles, and have fun. I don't think she'll be here for the sun. I don't see her as that type of person. So she's having fun making sandcastles. Xiangling, obviously making sandcastles. But would she be the first in the water all the time? You know what? Out of all of the leeway kids, I think this is the last one, unless I'm missing someone. She'd be the one to always go in the water. If we're looking at all the leeway kids, she's the first one in the water. And then she plays in the sand with everyone else. But she'd be the first one in the water, 100%. Rosaria did not want to come. Oh, well, would she be here for the sun? Would she want to come and just chill in the sun? Or did she just not want to come at all and do nothing? Oh, that's a tough one. What does Rosaria want to do? Would she be here for the sun or does not come at all? You know what? She'd be here for the sun. She'd be here for the sun. That's a Rosaria thing to do. Dory. Mora, seashells. She's going to sell them. She's going to take all the seashells she can find and sell them for 1,000,000 Mora. On sale, 10%. Dahlia. I have no clue. This guy's, I don't know anything. He's just a deacon for Venti. What the hell do I put him under here? This guy, I know nothing about this guy, dude. I can put him under. Okay, I guess I'll put him here. He'll walk and he'll collect seashells so he can give to Venti. I don't fucking know. He's an enigma. Yoimiya, obviously, easy answer. And I'm just going to skip the line here. Mualani. I mean, these are the first two that come to mind. 100%. The first two characters that come to mind that are always in the water first. Bam. These two. Obviously, Yoimiya wouldn't be making sandcastles with the other. You can have these characters in multiple different tiers, but yeah, this is obvious. Obviously, Mualani, the water girl. Kujo Sara, here for the sun. She's just going to be relaxing one day off of work. Relax in the sun, Kujo Sara. Chiori, probably same thing. I can see her, you know what? No, she'd want to come. She wants to get away, go on vacation. She'd be here for the sun. Candace, just like Dia, walking and collecting seashells. That's simple. Al-Haytham, he was the number one character I was thinking of when I made this tier. 100%. He did not want to come. He does nothing but sit in the shade and read. That is Al-Haytham for you. Layla. She'll try to make sandcastles with others. 100%. And then when she falls asleep, she'll make the best sandcastle out of everyone. And there you go. I know. We know nothing about her, but considering she is Inefa's friend, oh man, I can see her making sandcastles with her or walking and collecting seashells. I don't really know what Aino's personality will be like, so we're just going to put her in a walking and collecting seashells. More collecting seashells. I think that's something Aino would do, even though we know nothing about her. Mawika, our girl. Oh boy, she can literally be in every category, I feel like. Always in the water, here for the sun, making sandcastles with others, or walking and collecting seashells. Malika is literally in every tier. So which one would she do the most? All right, you know what? I made a decision. She is going to be here for the sun. She'll make sandcastles with others, but I think more than making them, I think she'd be the judge. She's the Pyro Archon. I think not land characters would get into groups, make a sandcastle, and she'll decide on the winner while she just lays in the sun with her sunglasses on and just chill. That is what Malika would do. Siegeween. Huh. Definitely walking and collecting seashells. Let's be real. Bennett. Yeah, it's easy. He'll be forced to go in the ocean because he doesn't want to, because he's scared, because he's going to drown, and then he will proceed to drown because that's his luck when he's outside of Natland. But yeah, he'll be forced to go in the ocean, that's for sure. That is Bennett. Tainari? What the hell would Tainari do? What in the hell would Tainari do? Okay, so I see him as being in the water or making sandcastles. Or I guess walking and collecting seashells with Kale. He'd be making sandcastles with Sino. But I think he's a guy that would actually really enjoy the water. I'm not dumb. He's not like afraid of the water, right? I hope not, because I'd be making myself look like a fool if he is. You know what? Okay, so we have Kale. I have Kale in the forest to go into the ocean category. I'm going to put Tainarius first in the water. I think he would really enjoy the water and try to get Sino and Kale to be with him. Kale would be forced to go into the ocean because of that. And then Sino, the TCG player, he'll be making sandcastles, but we haven't gotten to Sino yet. But yeah, next, Varessa. Ooh, Varessa. She would be probably the first in the water. She is a very hyper, energetic person. She'd want to go into the water and sprint very fast on water. Kaveh. I want to put him here, but no, he'd want to go and he'd be pissed at Alhaitham for not wanting to do anything. So Kaveh would be here for the sun, I think. I think he'd just relax in the sun. Charlotte. Oh boy, Charlotte. The journalist. What would she be doing at the beach? She'd be literally running around trying to get interviews with everybody. Let's be real. But I think she'd have some fun with some Fontaine characters and make sandcastles. That's something she would do. I think she would enjoy that. But she'd also love walking and collecting seashells. So it's kind of like either one of these two. I'll go with the sandcastle one. Ian-san, he'd definitely be working out. Ian-san would actually... Oh, yeah, swimming is a great source of exercise. She'd be first in the water, swimming, trying to get people in the water to swim. That's what Ian-san would do. Ningguang, that's no brainer. She'd be here for the sun, relaxing, getting a tan. Child, Tartaglia. He'd definitely be surfing in the water. He'd be in the water surfing. He's a Hydro character. Maybe doing battles in the water too. Who knows? Chaska. Ooh, Chaska. Oh man. I can see her in a lot of different categories here. I'm going to say she likes to walk and collect seashells. I can see her picking up seashells for her family back home and for other people from the Flower Feather clan. I don't really see her making sandcastles. I see her in I think she'd like the sun, but I see her more as a walking, collecting seashells type of girl. Ga Ming, he's fun. He's a fun character. He loves games. He'd be having a sandcastle battle for sure. Linny, the magician. Ooh. Oh yeah, wait. He'd go in the water. I think he'd try to do magic tricks with water or something. And he'd be with his boy Fremine. So yeah. Skirk. Nope. Skirk doesn't want to go. She wants to continue training. I don't think she'd really do anything at the beach. She does not want to be there. It's a waste of time to her. She should be training. I don't know. That's what I see, personally. Kanich with a how. with the other. So Mualani and Kachina are always first in the water. I don't see Kanich doing that. I see him having sandcastle battles with a Howland losing, or I guess winning, and a How thinks he's winning, but he's actually not. Amber, yep, always first in the water. That's the type of character she is. Very hyper, energetic. Yeah, just very positive. Loves the water. Kind of like Yoimiya. Kirara. Oh man, Kirara. Where would I put her? She's a cat. So does she like water? No, she'd be afraid of water. Would she be forced to go in the water though? That is the question. Would she be forced to go into the water? Honestly, yeah, I'm going to put her as she's going to be forced to go into the ocean, but she doesn't like the ocean. She's kind of afraid of it, and she's not going to have that great of a time. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with. Anefa, the robot. What is Anefa going to think of the beach? Like, what? Probably, no, she'd probably enjoy the sun. I can see her going into, like, sunbathing mode and just, like, kind of shutting off and just laying down flat dead on the sand, getting the sun. That's what I see. Mika. What the fuck? Okay, I see him in two different categories. Either he did not want to come and does nothing, or forced to go in the ocean, but he's scared. Because that's what that's what I get from Mika. Him and Noelle are kind of very similar. So, yeah, I don't see Mika wanting to go to the beach much. He gets social anxiety. He doesn't like being around other people. Yeah, that's Mika. Yanfei, the lawyer. Ooh, I can see her going the Yao Yao route or just bathing in the sun. I'm gonna put her. She's here for the sun. Lynette, yeah, she's gonna be forced to go into the ocean, and she's not the biggest fan of the ocean. Because Linny and Fremine are both gonna want to go into the water. She does not. She wants to be here for the sun. Lynette wants to be in this category, but she can't because she's forced to go into the ocean. Emily. Oh, walking and collecting seashells for sure. Ayaka. Ooh, Ayaka. Huh, this is an interesting one. This depends who she is here with, I think. If she's here with the Traveler, she'd be wanting to make sandcastles or go in the water. But if she's just here with like Ayato, which is probably she's here with Ayato and Toma, I think she would just walk and collect seashells. I don't think she'd do anything crazy. That's what I see. Clorand, 100% make sandcastles, play in the sand. Member of the tabletop troupe, come on now. Perfect. Toma? Huh. I don't know. I can see him making sandcastles, but at the same time, I can also see him just collecting seashells for his, yeah. He'd go on walks with like Ayaka and Ayato. Yeah, this makes sense. Nouvelette, dude. What the heck? Oh man, I can go a lot of different routes with him. Like, is he here, just taking meager strolls, collecting seashells? Is he trying to better understand human emotion and humans in general by making sandcastles with them? Is he here for the sun? I don't think he'd be the first in the water. So it's going to be one of these three categories. Which direction do I want to go with? You know what? He might be playing with the Melusines. I'm going to say he's going to be making sandcastles because he wants to, one, understand other humans. I can see him working with like Farina and the other, I guess maybe even just not necessarily making sandcastles, but like watching them and hovering over them, just, playing along with them, and the Melusines too. So I'm going to say he's going to be playing in the sand. Might be burying them as well. Mona Magistus. Dude, she actually fits in every single category. I don't know which one to do. She fits in every single category. I'm going to say she wants a break and she's going to be laying in the sun. Mona, she makes sandcastles. She plays in the sand here and there. She walks and collects seashells, but she is just relaxing at the beach, laying in the sun, without a thought in her mind. Yeah. Razor? probably would be forced to go into the ocean by his Mondstadt friends, like kind of like Bennett. But he doesn't have bad luck. I'm just gonna put him here. I think he's gonna be forced to go into the ocean. So yeah, Chevras. Oh man, I have no idea. I'm gonna say she's here for the sun. I don't see her playing in the sand. I honestly don't even see her like. I don't see her really collecting seashells. She might go for walks, but I think she's here for the sun. Yunjin, definitely here. Walking and collecting seashells, 100%. She would love that. Sucrose. I don't know. She's with Albedo. She'd go on walks and collect seashells with Albedo, I guess. I don't see her really making sandcastles. She's definitely not here for the sun. And I don't know if I don't think she'd like the water. Would she be forced to go into the ocean? I don't think she'd be forced to. I think this category fits her the most. Sino, obviously making sandcastles, just playing in the sand, playing TCG, burying people, cracking jokes. That's Sino. Arlecchino, definitely here for the sun. She can watch over the house of the hearth and all of her children play. You know Arle. Very chill. Very cold. Yeah. Just doing her own thing here for the sun. Sayu? Actually, no, I got it. She is friends with a lot of really fun people from Inazuma, like Yoimiya. She'd be forced to go into the ocean, I think. And I could see her just trying to hide and take a nap, but she'll be forced to go into the ocean. 100%. This is 100% Sayu. And then last but not least, Escoffier. So if Escoffier went here, what would she do? Oh man, the chef. I mean, she'd probably cook. Let's be real. She would probably cook. Man, this one's actually pretty tricky. I'm debating whether she'd be here for the sun or she'd just walk and collect seashells. I don't know. Escoffier is a very interesting character. All right, you know what? I'm just going to put her in this category. I think since she's constantly dealing with people, she just kind of wants to relax, bathe in the sun, and not have to worry about cooking. Maybe she might be thinking of making a new recipe for a new dessert, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, we'll put her there and we'll call it a day. So, finally, after all of that, we're done here. Is this correct? Did I do good? Did I do bad? What would you change? 6 different tiers, and they all have a good amount of characters. I mean, this was pretty even, kind of. Good amount of spread here, and I hope I had good reasoning for all of my picks. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. But with so many characters, it took a long time. But we got through it. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.